In this review, I'll be talking about the one, the only, Millennium Force, the original Giga Coaster, located at Cedar Point. So buckle up, hold on, and enjoy the review. Millennium Force is at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. It was built by roller coaster manufacturer Intamin and opened in the year 2000. It is the original Giga Coaster. That means any full-circuit roller coaster over 300 feet tall. In terms of stats alone, it has some of the best on any roller coaster, staying 310 feet with a drop of 300 feet, going 93 miles per hour, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds of total ride time and 6,595 feet of track. It does not have any inversions, however, but it does have overbank turns that reach 122 degrees, but it does not reach 135 degrees to be considered an inversion by most people, though that's debated by a lot. While I won't say the ride has a theme in a general sense, it does have a presence. You can see the ride from almost anywhere in the park, and that first hill is super menacing to look at. Plus, it has a huge entrance sign that is one of my favorites. The ride has 2 tunnels and has its music. This music is iconic with the ride, and the ride wouldn't feel like itself without this music blasting in the station. Sometimes they have lights going in the station too at night. Well, I wouldn't say the line is the best. You can see the end of the ride. And oh boy, does it still sound like it's going 90 miles an hour. It isn't, but it still sounds fast to the end. This also adds intimidation while you're standing in line. Once you pass the merge point and the fun TVs, you can see even more of the ride, and you can still hear it. Then you get to the station, and you're ready to go. You hear the music and the lights if it's at night, and the whole train just seems to be hyped for the awesome ride ahead. Most likely you get to choose your row. I would say you get to choose about 90% of the time. That is a huge plus, as the front and the back offer wildly different experiences, both great. However, I would not ride in the front during dusk of the summer unless you want to be covered in bugs. Once you choose your row and the gates open, you sit down and buckle up your safety belt to make sure you can safely be secured. You do not push down your lap bar, and your operator will do that. But these lap bars are some of the best. The T-bars truly are a great restraint, and they might be my favorite on any coaster. Once you get the all clear, the cable lift will take you up the 310-foot hill. Usually I'd skip talk about the lift hill, but Millennium Force might have the best lift hill of all time. Lake Erie to one side, and the entirety of the park to the other. It really doesn't matter what side you sit on, you're gonna get a great view. Even though the ride does have a great view from the lift hill, you're not on it for long, as it has a cable lift, and this thing goes fast. Before you know it, you're at the top and plummeting down. Now you're going down the 80-degree, 300-foot drop, and this drop is very intimidating. I wouldn't say it's the most airtime-filled drop, but it feels like you're falling forever, and by the bottom, it feels like you're really going fast, 'cause you are. But the ride doesn't give you time to think as you go into its most intense moment. 169-foot, 122-degree banked turn. This turn is intense, and is really fun. And then you plummet down and go through the first tunnel. As much as people call the ride forceless, and I would agree for most of the ride, that first turn is definitely not. After you go through the tunnel, you then go into an 182-foot hill. This hill offers good float airtime. Not the best airtime in the world, but it's really fun, and the hill is really tall, especially for a second hill. After that, you're going to go through 2 more overbank turns. These turns are fun. They're not the most forceful, but the pullouts can be. And they're fun. They're good turns and they add length to the ride. Then you're going to go over another hill. This hill I think gives better airtime than the first one, but this one's definitely shorter. Then you're going to go through another tunnel. Then you're going to experience the moment that I think has the most airtime on the ride. This small bunny hill. And while it's a bunny hill, you still go over it really fast, and it passes right next to the line. If you're in line and you're nervous before you hear it, you're definitely going to be nervous after. Once you hit the brakes, you really want to catch your breath, as Millennium Force truly is a really long ride. Then you pull into the unload station, as the ride has separate load and unload stations. These load and unload stations are great for 3 train operations, but on 2 or 1 train operations, it can really make the wait that much longer. I know there's claims of the ride being voiceless, and I would agree to a certain extent, as it isn't the most voiceful ride, but it still can pull some good voice. For the claims as being overrated, I would strongly disagree, and I would even call it underrated now. I would totally say someone's overrating it if somebody said it was the best ride in the park or the best ride in the world, as it isn't even in my top 3 at Cedar Point. But I don't think it's meant to be anymore. It was a great ride for the time, and very new, and innovative. And the ride is great at what it focuses at, speed, as the ride is super duper fast. Plus, if you ride it on a hot day, the airtime moments are that much better. This ride might be one of the best rides at Cedar Point on a 90-degree day. And, unlike a lot of other big rides, it features no mid-course breaks. The ride is truly one of my favorite coasters, and one of my favorites to do when I go to Cedar Point. Overall, I think it was once properly rated, and then it became overrated, but I think it's down to being properly underrated again. This is truly a one-of-a-kind attraction, and a great ride, and truly an icon of the park. You should get out to Cedar Point to ride this one-of-a-kind attraction. Until next time, Station Way Productions.